So hello my dear brothers and boys, today we will make the Ottoman Empire great once again, and we will do that in the modification called Fuhrerreich. You can actually see that the Ottoman Empire isn't doing so well, since its territory was divided not only between the colonial powers like Britain and France, but also they have established some puppet states like Kurdistan, Armenia, and International Trade Commission, which is ruling over Dardanelles and Bosphor. Also, Greeks have took a major part of our lands, and we will have to do something to punish the mustache man for everything that they did with our country. Our poor Ottoman Empire is really small, and we have to do something about it. Our current population is only 5.6 million of people, which is too low to build a great empire. We need at least 20 or even 30 million people to build a great state. So in this video we will reform the Ottoman Empire and make it a great state once again, even without a unique focus tree line. The worst part of that all is that International Commission controls our fabulous Constantinople, which we need to come back and make Istanbul out of it. Also, we need to punish Greeks and kick their asses out of Anatolian Peninsula and the great fortress city Adrianople. Well, the Italian government has elected to return Sicilia to us, no strings attached. And also they did the same with Pamphylia. If you thought about that Sicily, no, it's not about it. It's about our southern province, which is a modern-day Antalya. Now we will finally attract millions of Russian tourists to rest on the Mediterranean coastline and get a lot of money from them. Sounds like a working strategy. The nowadays Turkey is doing it pretty well, and furthermore, we have turned back lots of lands into the Ottoman Empire, like 2 provinces and access to the Mediterranean Sea. I count that as a huge success. Especially since now our population is 6.5 million of people. The Black Ottoman is dead. Okay, now what? We don't care about it. We don't care about Belarus. And Lenin is so young again, and young October is ahead. Lenin was immortal, but his legacy will last forever. His body is still lying in the center of Moscow, so fair enough. So the first country we have to punish and get some territories back out of it is of course the Kurdistan, the weakest enemy we could find. If we are the sick man of Europe and the weakest country on the Anatolian Peninsula, then Kurdistan is not even a state. We will take it down in 4 months. Yo guys, check this out, the Bolivian Revolution. Who cares about Bolivia? I do. No, Bolivia is a collectivist government with a goat on its flag. Yo, that's a based country. Goat at a flag. I like goats. You are the goat, dude. Jose Antonio Arce. Jose is the goat. Greetings to all my viewers from Bolivia, of course if you watch my channel. Military coup in the Soviet Union. Now that sounds interesting because Kirov isn't going to rule the USSR. Now Mikhail Tukhatchevsky is ruling the Soviet Union. Oh, I forgot to mention that Tukhatchevsky is also known as the Red Napoleon, at least on this modification. Now that looks interesting because we won't punish a mustache man. Now it's a People's Republic of Hellas, and they are ruled by the national collectivists. Something weird is happening with Greece. Wait, the rise of the Red Officer? Buyout by public popularity and the old guard of the Red Army, Kliment Voroshilov has come out on top and has become the new premier of the Soviet Union. Known for his military background, his promises to return stability and alleviate civilian suffering have been unable to calm fears that the Soviet Union is now nothing more than a rat junta. That doesn't sound like communism. That sounds like an epic Soviet government. Yeah, this guy will make the Soviet Union great again, especially since it's ruled by the rat junta, national collectivists. It looks like the workers' revolution are now happening all over the world, and now it has come to the point while Belgium is divided into 2 states, the Kingdom of Belgium and the Workers' State of Belgium. France occupies the Congo, What a classic. Representatives from the French government have said that the occupation will not be final and that the colony may be returned to Belgium following the end of this conflict, though outside observers are skeptical that the empire would ever seriously consider releasing the territory. Business just as usual, that's how it looks like. Finally, the dissolution of the stupid commission. That was a truly necessary step. We don't care about your demilitarized zones, since we're going to attack Kurdistan, and now that's gonna become the main territory of the Ottoman Empire, on which we will put lots of forces to destroy the Greek state. Goodbye, Kurdistan. We will take it down pretty easy, since one division will just conquer Amat and then Elich, and that will be way more than enough to capitulate Kurdistan. Like I said, boys, we're so back. Now Kurdistan is the legitimate part of the Ottoman Empire. Now that looks much better than it used to be at the beginning of our campaign. Now we've got a shape of at least a Turkish republic. Not entirely, but the shape is one that we all know and associate with Turkey. December 1936 and the war with Greeks is coming in 70 days, and I'm preparing for it as fast as possible. Cause after this period we won't have much time to prepare for the war against the Greeks, and we will have to do fast and agile. In March 1947 we have automatically declared war on the People's Republic of Hellas. Currently the war is going not so bad for me, as I'm liberating a small chunk of territory called Idini. And now I also have a great chance to enter this piece of land, since Greeks have left it, and now that's my chance to capture it and go closer to Smyrna. Excuse me, but Greeks are really leaving the territories for me, and I can't explain that. I've never seen it before in my previous attempts to play as the Ottoman Empire. Previously they always wanted to crash me, and now I see this. Finally, they are trying to push me out of their territories, but they can do nothing with me, since I've got lots of divisions on my front line. Oh my god, what the hell is happening with the United States, and why is it losing the war to Mexico, which has like 30 divisions? Oh, and the United States has 25 divisions. Nothing is going wrong with the United States, just trust me. That's a pretty normal third Mexico-American war. Scenes like that can happen only in Oklahoma. Hungarians are invading Slovakia. Yes, finally, it's normal day in Europe, and especially in Balkans, when something has started to go wrong and both countries started to kill each other. To understand how bad the situation is for Greeks, they have lost over 250,000 men, while we lost only 21,000 men. That's more than 1 to 10, it's 1 to 12. The Second Great War has just started, with Czechia joining the Continental Entente, and now Germany is fighting against the French Republic, and that's all. Kingdom of Italy has joined the British Pact, meaning that they are now safe. Now France has left one by one to fight against the German Reich and Italy. Wait, how did he actually join the Soviet Pact? That's not fair, bro. That's not fair to join the Soviet Pact. Now I have to destroy the Soviet Union to win this war. That's not good. However, the situation is going much better for me now, so now I have to focus on capitulating People's Republic of Hellas. So we have finally broke the positions of Greek army in Europe, and now we're going to capture not only Adrianople but also to liberate Constantinople. Millions of Turks will be free out of Greek pressure in the upcoming weeks. Now Greece is divided and we have to capture Constantinople, in which the Soviet forces have also arrived. In October 1938, the Constantinople was liberated from Greeks. Constantine city is ours. After getting to the modern Greek-Turkish border, the only thing that is left for me is to wait and prepare a massive offensive on Greece so I can capitulate them, and after that fight against the Soviet Union, which is gonna be pretty hard. I hope the Germans will win this war and then go to the east to defeat the Soviets. Yes, the German Reich has declared the war on the Polish Republic, which means that chances to defeat the Soviet Union and start the war against it are growing with an increased speed. Germans have gone really crazy since they attacked Ukraine, Poland, Hungary, Lithuania simultaneously. However, the Netherlands made a successful naval invasion to Tunisia. Well, Armenians have declared the war on the state of Iran, which means that Armenia is now free to be captured. Iran, Bruda, let's unite against Armenians and crush them. Meanwhile, Eastern Europe isn't doing so well. So history has become a joke since Hungary is now a puppet of Slovakia. And that's not a joke. So Slovakian Adolf Hitler is expanding his country. Currently, I'm not able to break the Greek border, so now I'm moving my forces to east to crush Armenia and Georgia, as they need to become a rightful part of the Ottoman Empire, just like they always were. Ararat is a Turkish mountain. I love Paris, especially under the German rule. So before France can understand anything, I think we need to go and destroy the French Syria. It will take only 60 days to attack them. Look at that, boys! Syria is also ruled by a local Hitler. Syrian Hitler. Why is Hitler ruling the entire world? So the German Reich has signed a peace deal with France, and now they are only in Africa. Well, my chances to conquer the French Syria are now growing and growing. Collapse of the Entente. The beginning of a new world. So let's conquer the space of I don't know what, of a dying empire. Sorry France, nothing personal, just business. Let's go. The Ottoman Empire declared the war on the colonial governorate of Phoenicia. Vroom vroom vroom, we are marching to Aleppo and Latakia. Nothing and no one can stop us from conquering it, not even the French Republic. And now we're justifying the war goal against the Armenians. Boys, it's only September 1939 and the German Reich has declared the war on the Soviet Union. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Bro, you should defeat Soviet Union as fast as possible so I can get all my territories like Greece and some other. Probably. Hell yeah, boys! It also means that they are now attacking the Third International on this front line from Yugoslavia and Bulgaria. Victory is mine. Whoa, telegram from Berlin. While Germany's recent behavior seems to be typical mark of a belligerent and aggressive nation, the shifting winds of the world have caused them to look at us as a potential ally in their creation of a new order in Europe and potentially the world. Wow, Ottomans are ruling the world. Nice. The potential advantages of such a partnership are no doubt plentiful, as Germany has generally found herself in want of allies, which will grant us a greater spot at the table, but some arch foresay us to stay away from trusting the Huns too much. I think we shall build a new world together, the German Empire and the Ottoman Empire, like we did in the World War I. Oh no, now I'm fighting against the entire France Africa. Who cares about France Africa? Meanwhile, the situation in the Soviet Union isn't that great since German forces have entered Moscow. The situation in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics appears dire, indeed. The situation became worse for the Soviet Union since Finland has joined this war, and now, even in the north, Soviet Union will lose everything. Now, it's not a big secret that Leningrad will fall. Now, the fall of the Soviet Union is only a question of time. Let's go, boys, we're breaking the Greek defense. Since I divided Greece in two parts, its capitulation is only a matter of time. We're finally coming back to Athens, which we left over 100 years ago, after the Greek rebellion. So Bulgarians have capitulated, and the only thing that is left to do is to capitulate the Soviets, and now I'm sending all my troops right here. I want to capture Narodograd. So, any last words, приятель? While the Soviet forces are really weak. The fall of Narodograd. Russia further staggers in its war. Okay, so first things first, let's divide Greece. So that's how Greece was divided between Ottomans, Bulgarians, Yugoslavians and Germans. Well, so Germany has signed a peace deal with the Soviet Union, leaving them a few more provinces in Russia, and now they are left one by one to fight against the Russian Republic and the Japanese Empire. But you know what, the situation in the Soviet Union with divisions isn't so good, and the unpopular conscription, well, it is what it is. You know what it means? Goodbye French Republic, you will be destroyed. Now my friends will take down you, and we will get even more lands from France. And the only thing you had to do is to give me Syria. And that's all. Now a new border of Greek state looks pretty fine since everyone got something from it. Yugoslavians got this territory of Macedonia, Bulgarians got some more territories and access to the Mediterranean Sea, and we also got Western Thrace with this piece called Karjali, and we got a southern part of Greece. I think it's fair enough for a 20-year occupation of Anatolian Peninsula and Constantinople. Oh, and if it's interesting to you, now the entire population of the Ottoman Empire is over 18 million people, which is nice. And of course we got 11.3 million of people. However, we still have lots of core territories in Armenia, so we need to liberate a Turkish population. And not only Turkish, Armenian, Georgian as well. Now boys, it's time to take down the Caucasus countries. In October 1940, we will take Armenia, Georgia and Republic of Iran. The Ottoman Empire declared war on the Republic of Armenia. Now it's time to take our lands back into the empire. Boys, I guess we are winning since there are more green bubbles than red one. What I learned from playing Hoi 4 is to find in the impossible situations to change the situation on the front line. Let's go, let's go, let's go, no time to stay at the border. So, it looks like now Armenians are encircled. There is no chance they will hold the front line since that moment. Okay, I have to do something with this front line since it looks really strange, and now I can be encircled at any moment. On the other hand, Tbilisi is free, so it's my chance to capture it. Especially after looking who is the leader of this alliance, we need to capitulate Georgia. Finally, Armenians have capitulated and it's April 1941. You know what? Why don't we conquer Azerbaijan? They are our brothers, so we should live in one empire. Why not? Well, I think that Tbilisi is cooked. And now it's time to liberate Sochi. We did it. We defeated a united Caucasian alliance. Now I'm annexing them all and the future borders will be decided a bit later. What about Iran? It's gonna be released as a puppet government, but I will change some of its borders. Now that looks much better since I'm also aiming to conquer Mashriki Kingdom, also known as Iraq. Bruh, you have to be defeated and the Ottoman Empire should come back to the Middle East. In 6 months we will enter Baghdad. Baghdad is gonna be an Ottoman city. You got it, Faisal I. Now I can proudly say that the total population of the Ottoman Empire is almost 28 million people. Now that's good enough, but I'm aiming for 50 million people living in the Ottoman Empire. Because that's my goal for this video and for the reborn Ottoman Empire. Any last words, приятель? That's gonna be a pretty fast war. Trust me, brothers. The only thing we have to do is to reach Baku. Dude, you've got some major troubles as Kingdom of Italy declared war on yeah, it's French Equatorial Africa, so they declared war on it, which means that we will say goodbye to the French Republic. Hell yeah. The Anglo-French War. Finally, we were waiting for it. The Entente was always bound to fail. Oh, look at that. The Baku oil is now ours, which means that we are gonna become insanely rich. Oh, remember like Donald Trump said? This is Albania and this is Azerbaijan. Donald Trump is now a main character of my channel. Wait a second, the Soviet Union declared the war on the German Reich for the second time? Is that the great comeback of the Soviet Union? I think that the great trial is coming. Now it's time to invade Iraq just like the United States did in 2003. I'm coming for you, Bruda. Like I said, both Damascus and Baghdad are gonna be mine. We're so back, boys, we're entering Baghdad after the moment we left it 23 years ago. Do you still want to fight with me? Cause you lose 50,000 people and I lose only 1,000 people. 1 to 50 casualties in assault. Wow. But remember boys, if Donald Trump was president, that war would never start. Alright boys, it's time to divide the French Republic and its puppets. And of course, first of all I'll take Syria and then I'll think about taking Algeria, Morocco, or probably some other parts of French Africa. While the only thing I can take except Syria is Western Sahara, so why don't I take it? It's gonna be my new colony. Equatorial Guinea, hey there. You're gonna be mine. You know what? We have exchanged some colonies with Spain since the colonies of Spain are now the Ottoman colonies all around the world. this part of Morocco, Western Sahara, and of course the Equatorial Guinea. Now it is all mine. That's my payment for suffering in Syria, taking the Spanish colonies back to Ottoman Empire. What a nice trait. So the Ottoman Empire without a focused through line is now ruling the entire world, well, at least for a bit. I think when Germans were talking about ruling the world, they meant that, and they mean such a powerful Ottoman Empire. Since I can't understand who is my enemy on the Middle East, I have to fight everyone. It's no time for justifying the war goal, and it doesn't make any sense since I'm gonna crush the entire Middle East and restore the borders of the Ottoman Empire. So let's go, boys, no time for precautions. Boys and camels have no chances against the organized army. Mecca, the Saint City, is gonna become Ottoman City once again. We're going to be the capital of Islam once again. Poor camels, you don't deserve to die like that. I love camels. -1. Yemen? Who is Yemen? Bye bye, Saudi Arabia. So that's how the new Middle East and the Arabian Peninsula looks like. We gained all the territories that we had before the Great War, and we established our new poblets in form of Najd and Yemen. Now it totally looks like a shape of the Ottoman Empire, and we've got some more things to do. First to crush the Mountain Republic and then crush the Soviet Union once and for all. While the division of France looks really strange. It is so ironic to see Arkhangelsk as a new capital of Russia. This is truly the second West Russian war. So it's time to crush the Mountain Republic and help the Germans to destroy the Soviet Union. Let's imagine this war like we're a knife and the Mountain Republic is a butter, meaning that we are easily going through it. That is undoubtedly one of the easiest wars we've faced today, just after the war with Kurdistan. And now let's crush these Soviet forces. That's gonna be way too easy. Now that looks like a good encirclement, and we did it just in a few days, so goodbye Soviets in Kalmykia. There is going to be another encirclement, and Soviets deserve it, especially since they hold tanks right here in the desert. Oh hell no, bro, I won't support you in such an action. So Germans have declared the war on the United Kingdom, and that's their own business, that's not my business. I just want to help them to defeat the Soviet Union, and that's all. Because the German AI is somehow failing the war against the Soviet Union. And it looks like we've got yet another encirclement on the front line, but this time in Kazakhstan. Now the Soviet Union is divided into two different parts, one in the north and one in the east. And that all happened only because of us. Yes, finally the Soviet Union has capitulated. So that's a true rise of the Ottoman Empire, which has not only taken all of its territories back, but also defeated the Russians in the 13 Russo-Turkish War. As for me, that's a total victory of the Ottoman Empire, which is now not a sick man of Europe, but also a crazy man of Europe. Since no one is as tough as we are, especially after gaining Spanish colonies in Africa. Now we're also a colonial empire, with a total population of 43 million of people, which is nice. I think that Donald Trump would be proud of us, as we made the Ottoman Empire great again, and the Stahl Pact is now greater than it ever was, and I think that we will rule the world pretty soon. And that all happens because of the Ottoman Empire. Put a like on this video for such a great Ottoman Empire.